When I was 15, I would have strongly disagreed with the idea that cold approaching is easy, but if someone told me what I'm about to tell you, I would have had success with girls way earlier. Everyone thinks that they don't have to put themselves out there and they can just rely on dating apps to have success with girls. And this is exactly what one of my clients was doing, and he wasn't having any success. He was too afraid to talk to girls in person. He didn't think that they would have conversations with him. He thought that he would automatically just get rejected. And one time he actually saw a really attractive girl in his hallways at his college campus, and as usual, he didn't talk to her. But after telling me this, I encouraged him to go and talk to as many girls as possible. And he did. So he went out, he started having a bunch of cold approaches. After 10 or so, he realized that the interactions were actually really positive, and it wasn't that hard to start conversations with the frameworks I gave him and everything that I taught him, the mindset shifts, and he was starting to really build up some positive momentum and confidence. And then funny enough, he sees that same super attractive girl after he's built up this confidence, and then he went up and talked to her, and she actually really liked him, and they ended up going on a date. So the lesson here is that no one talks to girls in real life anymore. Everyone is just trying to use social media and get the easy way out. No one wants to be courageous and go out and put themselves out there on the limb and go talk to a girl. And the funny enough thing is that ironically, you're gonna have way more success if you do that, because no girl really wants to reject you like right off the bat. Most girls are quite friendly and they're not gonna be harsh unless you're really weird. So if you use some basic things, which I'll teach you in terms of just being a polite, friendly, normal person, they're gonna engage in a conversation with you. And then from there, you can use your charismatic abilities, your charm, your wit, your humor to win them over and then get them to like you and then take things further. And it is gonna work like a gem, because this is exactly what I did. Being someone who always struggled to get girls, I was a shy introvert, didn't know how to start conversations, and I thought maybe because I'm 5'7", I didn't have too much confidence, I'd always grown up very skinny, I didn't think that girls were gonna like me. And I had the exact same situation as my client. But after developing communicative abilities, working on myself as an individual, this has been the #1 way that I've had success. All my success has come from in person, seeing a girl that I liked, going up and talking to her no matter where it is, whether it's at the bars or clubs, kind of easy mode, or it's at the beach, by a pool, at the gym. This is what's gotten me to actually build relationships with girls and have success. Like a lot of guys, I used to overthink the approach. In my head, I would get negative racing thoughts, limiting beliefs, telling me that I couldn't get her, that I wasn't attractive enough, and my armpits would start to sweat, my hands would get clammy, I would get red in the face before even doing anything. Just thinking of talking to a girl would give me all these anxiety reactions. And the thing is, you don't need to overcomplicate the approach. And so many guys are doing this. And if you just use some simple frameworks to start a conversation, it can be so simple. So nowadays, when I see an attractive girl, all I'll do is I'll walk up to her, hold eye contact, smile on my face, confident body language, and I'll simply introduce myself. I'll usually say something along the lines of, excuse me, what is your name? And then if we go into a conversation and it's good, we'll continue. And if she doesn't want to talk, then I'll just leave and say, well, it was nice to meet you. And it's as simple as that. See, what you got to understand is that some girls are just going to be open and receptive to you, and some girls are just going to be closed. Now, if they're closed, it doesn't mean that they're not attracted to you. It just means that there is some situation in her life going on that makes her not receptive to anybody. You could be the best NFL player out there and she just wouldn't be receptive to you. It's facts. This is how girls kind of go through life, is times when they're open and receptive to your approach and times when they're not. See, they might be in the love phase of a relationship, like the peak of a relationship, just getting to know someone, and they don't want to mess that up. They may be in a relationship, they may be in a situationship, they may have just gotten into a fight with their friends, they may be arguing with their parents, something may be going on in their life where they don't want to talk to anybody, especially just some new random person. And this is what you got to understand, is girls have a little bit of a different mindset. They're constantly receiving tons and tons of validation from guys. So just getting approached by some random guy, wherever, if they're not in the mood, is not very exciting to them. They have tons of guys in their phones if they want to talk to and get validation. But on the other side of things, if they are open, if they are receptive, most girls, even the most attractive ones, will be very receptive to your approach. Like even the genuine 10 out of 10s that you may be pedestalizing, which I don't know why, because they're the same like everyone else. They're probably easier to get than the average girls, if I'm being honest, because most guys are too afraid to talk to them and they're always receiving constant validation. So if you just go and treat them like a normal person, they're gonna be like, wow, this is refreshing. I'm being treated like the normal person that I wish everyone would treat me like, but everyone's always pedestalizing me for my beauty before they even get to know me. That's a lot of their mindset. But back to the open-closed analogy. When you go in with this mindset and a girl is closed, you can just throw it off as she is closed. For whatever reason, no one would get this girl right now. And if you use that mindset, it's so much more empowering for you, because what is the alternative? You say, oh, she rejected me, I'm not good enough. If you're gonna get rejected as a guy, it's facts. I mean, I've gotten rejected so many times. To this day, I continue to receive tons of rejections. It's just what happens. There's no getting around it. You're gonna have to face rejections. But if you can use this mindset where you kind of throw it off as something else, you say, oh, well, she's just closed. And for whatever reason, whether she's in a relationship, situationship, the list goes on, she wouldn't be receptive to anybody, not just me. You don't make it personal. Because the alternative is you use the things that you're currently saying, the limiting beliefs, oh, I'm not attractive enough, I'm too short, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, whatever it is, and you're reaffirming these things within your mind, making yourself less confident, where now, even if it's delusional, I think let's just put it hypothetically, even if she was receptive to another guy, that's not gonna help you in building your confidence. It's better to be slightly delusional and say, okay, well, she was just closed to everybody, not just me, and not take it personal, so it doesn't hit your confidence, and you can just deal with this rejection like a champ and be on to the next. And then, whoa, all of a sudden you met a receptive girl and now boom, you're having success. The amount of times this has happened to me is nearly endless. Literally just 3 weeks ago, the first girl I cold approached when I went out with my friends rejected me right off the bat. She was closed, as we call it. And it was instant, like pretty much within 10 seconds, she rejected me. That night we had a couple decent conversations, nothing too good. And then all of a sudden later on in the night, they started getting better. I had some great conversations. And then my friend and I brought 2 girls back to my place. So, I mean, that's the game, man. If you use this open, closed mindset and you don't make the rejections personal, this is gonna keep you in the game for so long and allow you to get over rejections and actually start building confidence no matter what, because you're displaying courageousness every time you talk to a girl, and that should be the win, not the outcome. And when you get a cold approach that goes well, which it will, this is how you escalate things. So I was in Florida about 2.5 years ago, just getting started in my cold approaching journey when I was at the beach. I see a girl walk by who's blonde hair, blue eyes, really fit body, super attractive, and I was like, oh, I wanna go talk to her. But keep in mind, I'm just getting started on my journey, so I hadn't really developed all the confidence that I have now. So I started getting some of these negative thoughts. I was like, oh, well, she's kind of far away. It's gonna be weird if I walk all the way over there. You know, she might be lying down. What if she's with other people? The list went on, and I started to have some of that anxiety. But I acted anyway, and I went over. It was a far walk, actually. It was a really far walk. Eventually, I got to her, and I just introduced myself. As I told you, I just said, excuse me, what is your name? We got into some small talk. She told me she was here on vacation, and I said hi to her friend as well. And then I got her snap and left. And then she texted me, she was like, oh, I'm gonna be here for one more day. Do you wanna do something tonight? And I was like, yeah, let's do something. So we had some drinks on the beach later that night, and it went really well. We had a bunch of fun on the beach. She ended up coming back to my place and ended up getting with her. This all happened because I took the initiative to go talk to her, I displayed courageousness, I got her info, and then I struck while the iron was hot. Now in this case scenario, she did text me first actually. So that was, you know, a benefit, but this would have never happened if I didn't first go and talk to her. So the key here is that once something goes well, once you have a girl who's receptive to you, who's open and is kind of flirting with you, you need to take things to the next level. You need to try and set up a date as quickly as possible. You need to strike while the iron is hot. This is something I've learned in sales, is that if you don't collect the money on the call, you're most likely gonna lose that sale. You have very few follow-ups that will go through. Follow-up basically means a phone call that didn't close on that first call, where you have to try and follow up with them to get that sale. If you rely on follow-ups as your method of making money, you are gonna be broke. And it's the same thing with girls. If you have that sales mindset, where it's like, okay, you got a fresh lead, you got someone who likes you. You need to strike while the iron is hot. You need to set up a date. You need to do something. And this is going to lead you to having the most success. And this is really all you got to do. So, I mean, whatever it is, just texting her, following up, trying to set up a date, trying to set up a hangout. That's all that it takes, just meeting up with her. And then actually, taking that conversation a little bit further, getting to know her more, and then boom, doing whatever you want to do. But that is it. That's the last lesson here. Let's summarize it as strike while the iron is hot. And that is all for this video. I hope you guys got some value out of this. If you did, make sure to subscribe to this channel. On here, I'm going to be teaching you how to become attractive to girls and get more dates. So if that sounds like interest to you, subscribe. And also, if you want my free dating blueprint, I'm gonna link that down below where you can get that immediate access. It's in a school community, so you'll get the course instantly. And then you can also join and be part of a community of all like-minded people who are all trying to better themselves in the dating scene and build confidence, start talking to more girls, and have the dating life of their dreams. So sounds of interest, go ahead and check that out. I'll see you guys in there. Have a great day, everyone.